Something that everyone was searching for earlier today was information about a dog rescue that we found on Facebook. And we first told you about this yesterday. The Salt Lake City Fire Department got a call from hikers who found a beautiful stray dog on the mountain above the University of Utah. When firefighters got there, it was easy to see the dog, named Rue, was injured. She couldn't sit or stand and was clearly in distress, and she wasn't going to make it down that mountain on her own. There was no question about that. So firefighter Tony Stowe carried the year-and-a-half-old Vizsla on his back for more than 2 miles. We're glad to have Tony now with us via Skype. Tony, this story struck a chord with so many people, dog owners and non-dog owners alike. When you first got to the scene and you saw Rue there, was it easy to gain her trust? Did she just warm up to you right away?
Yeah, there's quite a few of us. There was me and my crew. We kind of got a pretty instant bond. She looked at me, and I kind of had the got the look from her of, please help me, I hurt, get me out of here.
Now, so you got a little bit of dog whisper in you, obviously, and that's why they sent you up to the forefront, maybe. What kind of injuries did you have when you saw her? I mean, you know, we're used to dogs being pretty rough and tumble.
Yeah, she is pretty tough, and actually she frequents those trails quite often, but I think that it's the nature of how scared she was and how far she's traveled total. Her left rear hip was pretty hurt, and all 4 of her pads were quite tender, and she was pretty dehydrated as well. She'd burrowed into the cliffside to try and escape the heat.
Yeah, so tell me just real quick, how heavy is she? Because I'm not sure the last time I walked 2 miles voluntarily without a dog on my back. So how heavy is Rue?
She's between about 35 and 40 pounds. Not fairly light for the size of the dog. She's still pretty spry. I
want to say fairly light for a firefighter because I know you guys carry those hoses all over the place, and that 35, 40 pounds is nothing for guys like you. How did she end up 3 miles from home again?
She's about 3 miles from her house is where the trailhead begins, and then 2 miles pretty much straight up on this trail. It's quite steep. So at least 5 to 6 miles as the crow flies, but who knows what path she took overall just to get there.
Now, Tony, listen, I know a lot of people are giving you props. I myself thought maybe you should have given her some door-to-door service and got her all the way home. You know, why'd you tap out, Tony? You know?
Yeah, turned it into a big CrossFit workout and you know, interval training all the way to the house.
Yeah. Now you guys forged kind of a bond during this you know, hike down the mountain, and you actually, I understand, were thinking maybe you want to have a custody battle with the owners. You wanted to adopt her, I understand.
No battle at all. I'm really glad that she's back. I've learned that her best friend is an 8-month-old little baby girl that likes to crawl over her, and they like to snuggle together. So obviously, I'm very happy that she's back with her family, but I did put myself first on the list should they not be able to find the family.
Well, that's awesome, Tony. The images are fantastic. I certainly hope that you print a few of them out and frame them up on your wall of fame from your firefighting days. Thanks so much for taking the time with us.
Thanks for having me.
Christy, awesome, right?
Oh, my gosh, it is. And kudos to him.